All right, second part of our names and formulas, we're going to talk about covalent compounds. Covalent compounds are probably the easiest to write names and formulas for. When we say covalent, sometimes we call them molecular compounds. We're thinking molecules, right? So to identify, first of all, if you have a formula, you're looking for a nonmetal or a metalloid at the start of the compound. Remember, with ionic, you're looking for metal or ammonium. With covalent, you're looking for a nonmetal to start or a metalloid. Really easy to name. Name the first element plus name the second element. However, when you name the second element, like we did with ionic, you're going to change the ending to "ide." Here's the difference. With covalent, we get to use prefixes. Remember the prefixes? Mono for 1, di for 2, tri for 3, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta, octa, nona, and deca. Those are the prefixes we use for 1 through 10. The purpose of these prefixes is to tell how many of a particular element show up in the formula or the smallest piece or molecule, right? So let me just go through one example with you. It's pretty easy. P4O10, you should know the name of P is phosphorus, right? Phosphorus. And then oxygen is the second element, but you're going to change the ending to "ide, right? Now, with this, with covalent, because we know it starts with a nonmetal, we're going to have to use prefixes. Pre goes in front. Prefixes to tell how many. Since it's 4, then we need to put a tetra in front. And then since there's 10 for oxygen, you're going to put 10, you're going to put deca in front. So we would say tetraphosphorus decaoxide. Okay? Going the other direction, if I gave you the name, it's even easier. So I'm not going to do an example with you. You just have to be able to recognize these prefixes as how many and then write a good formula. Okay? The only thing also to tell you, I think, that can be a challenge sometimes is the exception with the prefixes is if your first element only has 1, you actually don't use prefixes, right? So if you look at this example here, you probably already know. If I were to tell you, name that, you're not going to say monocarbon dioxide, right? No one says that. It's carbon dioxide that we drop off the mono on the front, okay? The next one, CO, that we also drop mono in the front. You wouldn't say monocarbon monoxide. You would call it carbon monoxide, right? And so that's how we would write it. We would just go with carbon monoxide. Now notice in me naming this, I'm not really saying monooxide. That kind of sounds weird. So you'll notice when we have a double vowel there, you typically drop the vowel at the end of your prefix if you have a vowel to start the element. So we would just go carbon monoxide as we say it. Okay?